The 49ers have no chance to beat the Philadelphia Eagles in Philadelphia this weekend? Yo, what's going on, everybody? This is Sammy J Reacts. Welcome back to my channel. And in today's video, we're going to be talking about the upcoming NFC Championship game between the San Francisco 49ers and the Philadelphia Eagles, just from a narrative perspective, because it's been getting out of hand, what I've seen in the media these days, and I just want to talk about it and kind of vent. I'm going to be talking off the cuff, kind of like podcast mode, but be on the lookout for my more statistical breakdowns in the coming days. But before we get into it, I want to ask, if you are a San Francisco 49er fan, if you are a fan of the NFL in general, if you like the video, man, like the video. If you felt my vibe, I hope you subscribe so we can continue talking about what we love to watch, and that means NFL football, mainly the San Francisco 49ers, baby. All right, man, let's get into it because the narrative surrounding this game is starting to get a little bit out of hand. I've seen a lot of media members talk about how the San Francisco 49ers have not faced anybody of note, so that's why they shouldn't be feared, and like this whole talk about how Brock Purdy didn't look good in the game against the Cowboys and they barely beat the Cowboys, this and that. And my counter argument to that is, who the hell have the Philadelphia Eagles played? You could say the same thing about them. And to me, it's just a lazy argument for both teams in general. Who cares who they've played? They've played who has been faced in front of them, and they've dominated their opponents. I know it sounds cliche, but you can only play who's in front of you. That's why every NFL player says you take it one day at a time, one game at a time, because that's all that matters. The preparation leading up to that game, whoever it is you're playing, that's all that matters. And at the end of the day, if you're winning, who cares who you're playing? And yeah, the game between the San Francisco 49ers and the Dallas Cowboys was close. It was hotly competitive. But to me, it's those type of games that really give you experience, especially in the playoffs with a 7th round, last pick in the draft, rookie quarterback starting. Come on. The way the 49ers grinded out that win against Dallas Cowboys told me more about their heart as a team than if they had gone out there and blown out the Dallas Cowboys. It gave me more confidence in this football team that they're able to win any type of game that you want. Hey, you want us to put up 41 points against the Seattle Seahawks? Let's do that. Man, we're playing a tough defense in the Dallas Cowboys. They have a great front seven, great secondary. Let's try to grind it out, not commit any turnovers, lean on our run game, lean on our defense, and just come out with a win, which at the end of the day is all that matters. And like I mentioned before, the Philadelphia Eagles arguably have had the easiest path to the NFC title game. Look who they've played. Go back and look at their schedule. It's not that impressive. You can say the same thing about the 49ers. Sure, their schedule is not that impressive, but guess what? They're the last two teams standing. Doesn't matter. Let's hone in on the Philadelphia Eagles here for a second, because they've had the easiest path, like I mentioned before. Not to discredit them or anything, they deserved it. They were the #1 seed for the entire season for a reason. They got that week off, but they played arguably the weakest divisional opponent in the playoffs that I've seen in a while. That says a lot about Minnesota too, because they lost to the New York Giants, but let's be real. The Giants were not going to be beating Philly in Philly. And that's no slight on the Giants, because they had a great season, but let's be honest, they were probably the weakest team heading into these playoffs, other than the Minnesota Vikings. And the main narrative that I've been seeing pushed by the media is that the 49ers haven't faced an opponent as tough as the Philadelphia Eagles. And funny enough, that's what they were saying last week when we played the Dallas Cowboys. And what did the 49ers do? They went out there and proved that they can hang with these tough teams. Just because they're not playing difficult opponent doesn't mean they aren't a difficult opponent themselves. Because like I mentioned before, who have the Philadelphia Eagles beat? The 49ers are going to be the best team they've played this season. They got to come see about the 49ers too. And I'm telling you what, this is the one team the Philadelphia Eagles did not want to have to play to go to the Super Bowl. And now granted, they have a lot of advantages. One more day of rest. They're playing at home. They got the bye week, deservedly so. They had the #1 seed, and they're probably the most healthy team in the playoffs other than the 49ers themselves. But this whole narrative about these two teams haven't played anyone just needs to die. Who cares? They're both great, phenomenal football teams, tough, physical, hard-nosed football. All we really need to be focusing on is the matchup at hand, the 49ers versus the Eagles. Who cares who they've played up to this point, because they're here now. That's all that matters. So let's start talking about that matchup. And honestly, on paper, this is going to be such a fun game to watch. I mean, both of these teams have great defensive and offensive lines. The Eagles, I think, probably have the best combination of the two. Their offensive line easily is the best in football. Run blocking, pass blocking, everything, they're phenomenal at it. And even looking at their defensive line, man, it's scary. Fletcher Cox, obviously, Jordan Davis, Sweat, Hassan Reddick is playing even better than when he was on the Cardinals. It's insane. They have a great defensive line. But one area you can exploit that defense is in the run game and the play action game, attacking the linebackers. Obviously talking about this from like the 49ers perspective on how you want to attack that defense. And there's obviously a recipe on how to beat this team. If you just look at what the Washington Commanders did when they beat them in the regular season this year. They ran the ball 40 plus times and dominated the time of possession. I think that's the recipe for success. And what do the 49ers do well? What's been the main reason for the success of winning the past 12 games you've played? the run game. So just staying true to yourself, you have a good shot at winning this game. It's going to be tough attacking that secondary, especially with big play Slay back there. And I'll be saving my more statistical analysis of the game for next couple days videos, so stay tuned for those. I think the most fun matchup, like I said last week, is going to be the 49ers defense against the Philadelphia Eagles offense, because like I mentioned just a couple seconds ago, their offensive line is so damn good. The Niners defensive line is so damn good. That's going to be a damn war in the trenches there. This is going to have to be a huge game from the 49ers linebackers, and Fred Warner coming off of one of his best performances in the playoffs I've seen since the Lambeau Field game actually last year. I know he's going to come correct, and I know big play Dre is going to come correct, and Azeez Al-Shaair is starting to catch his stride now. Don't forget about him. It's going to be fun to see how they defend Jalen Hurts, especially in the quarterback run game. I think the more quarterback designed runs are actually a lot easier to defend. I think for me, the real key is going to be staying in your rush lanes, keeping contained, and not allowing him to step up into the pocket. And if you send pressure, we saw it last week, if you send pressure, you got to keep contained, you got to keep to your rush lanes. Dak Prescott picked up a big first down on a fourth down play that you sent heat, so that's going to be huge. And I always think it's funny when people say that the 49ers struggle against running quarterbacks, but in reality, who doesn't? Everyone in the damn NFL struggles against running quarterbacks. It's just difficult to defend. It's true 11-on-11 football. I mean, just look what Justin Fields did to every single team he played. Like, to me, it's at the end of the day, it's just you're a great running quarterback. Every team's going to struggle against that. The key to the game is going to be staying disciplined and executing well. I know it's a simple answer, but at the end of the day, that's what's going to win you football games. I know the secondary is going to get tested well. It looks like everyone's number one wide receiver is just going to eat against this 49ers secondary, so looks like A.J. Brown could be in line for a huge game. I think it's about making sure the others don't eat, like Quez Watkins and Devontae Smith, trying to lock down Dallas Goedert. But man, it's going to be such a fun matchup. I can't wait to keep breaking it down. Another great opportunity for Brock Purdy to keep showing people that he is legit. And another great opportunity for Kyle Shanahan and DeMeco Ryans to keep adding to their resume. If they can execute well, have a great game plan, they can come out and win this game in Lincoln Financial Field. Man, it's just the beginning of the week, but I'm already so excited, man. But that's going to be it for me. Let me know what you thought about these thoughts down in the comments below. Who do you have winning this game on Sunday? Who do you have winning the Super Bowl? And again, if you liked the video, man. If you felt my vibe, I hope you subscribe. But as always, man, I'm going to leave you with a bang, bang, Niner gang. Yay! Peace, love, and positivity, everybody. Peace.